We have a number of goals for Saturday. We want to increase our aggressiveness even more. We want to clean up our sets so that they're perfect in pass protection. We want to get a little bit more movement down the field, finishing plays, and we just want everything to take another step of being crisper and cleaner.
Well, we basically play hard, not make mistakes. We didn't do that as well the other night, and so that will be our goal going in.
You know, just this week, I know they're going to probably try to come out and try to run the ball on us because of what they seen last week. But, just go out there and play fast and physical.
I'll keep working on hang time and direction. That's always a big thing. With some of the returns we're going to have to play, starting off with Hester in week 1. Direction and hang time are going to be huge.
And this is kind of the week that you want to simulate a game, you want to simulate the game week, and so it's an opportunity for us to do that and get focused on the Cowboys and go down there and play well.
We want to just go out there and have another chance to just play with great effort. Play smart, play with great effort, and in the preseason, it kind of gives you a chance to start to establish what kind of defense or what kind of team you want to be.
Players and coaches with their goals for tonight in preseason game number 3 for the Bengals at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, to take on the Cowboys. Let's throw it down to the third member of our crew, and Mike Valpredo.
Brad, thank you with Coach Lewis. Coach, on most fronts, a very successful training camp, preseason, you're 2-0. How do you guys keep this thing moving forward tonight?
Well, we want to make sure we accomplish our goals tonight. Come out, play fast early, get after it, let's play physical, let's control the line of scrimmage, take care of the ball, and let's take it away on defense.
Bengals fans can be very happy to see number 18. What are the tentative plans for AJ tonight, Coach?
AJ will play some tonight, and at some point we'll remove him from the game.
Very good. We'll see him when he gets out there. Thanks for the time, Coach. Good luck. Hope you get another win and 3-0, guys.
Yeah, Mike, thanks very much. Normally what you get from Marvin, at some point we'll remove him from the game. That will probably be sooner than later. Dallas wins the toss. They will receive. Marvin, in all seriousness, gets ready to kick this one to Dwayne Harris. Mike Nugent will do the honors. If you haven't been here, you need to make plans to get here. It's a pretty place, isn't it, Anthony?
It's like, wow, you walked in and your jaw just kind of drops. I had a chance to have about 300 kids on this field in here about a month ago, so I got to see it firsthand, but it is quite a place.
Harris takes it 6 yards deep and across the 20-yard line to about the 22 as a flag comes flying in. 28-yard return for Harris. Bill Levy.
During the return, holding, number 48 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Cameron Lawrence gets the call. It's Bill Levy, our referee, at least for the first half, makes that call. They have done something special tonight that we're not quite sure why, but Bill Levy will be our referee in the first half. Adrian Hill will be our referee in the second half. Tony Romo will lead the Cowboys 1st and 10 from their own 11-yard line on the first drive. Drops to throw. Bengals come and drop him. He drops before he gets hit. Malaluga was there. A loss of 8. As you take a look at our starting lineups, brought to you by Kroger. Skill set for the Dallas Cowboys. And their number 1 pick, and Travis Frederick at center. Move it back to the 2-yard line. And the Cowboys are going nowhere as DeMarco Murray is dropped by Michael Johnson, who's getting some snaps. Our starting defense presented by Kroger. Wallace Gilberry is in there for Carlos Dunlap, who will not play again tonight. Domata Peko, Geno Atkins in the middle. And your linebackers won't see a lot of 92 tonight, so Emmanuel Lemure will play at linebacker, and then your secondary goes like that. 3rd down and 18 with the ball at the 3. Romo 6 yards deep. Across the middle, gets Witten, but well short of a first down as he is popped across the 13-yard line. And a nice first defensive set for the Bengals, Anthony.
Brad, unlike that first sack they had where they had 2 or 3 Bengal defenders in the backfield, that time they came with a 3-man rush and just dropped back. Did a nice job allowing the tight end Witten to catch a football, but not getting the first down. So right here, that's the first play. You see number 58 Malaluga, and of course 97 is usually around the quarterback.
Jones lets this one fly. Brandon Tate is back, and he is driven back inside his own 30-yard line. Makes a move, gets tripped up across the 40-yard line after a 56-yard kick. Danny McCray makes the stop, and the Bengals will have good field position for their first offensive set. Andy Dalton comes out through his first 2 games, 12 of 21 for 152 yards and a touchdown. And he'll start with Ben Jarvis Green Ellis in the backfield. And they'll give to him on the left side, but nothing much there. As he's stopped immediately by Durant. Maybe a loss of 1. Hayden was there as well.
Brad, we got to see Alex Smith, number 81, a tight end there in the opening play. So I'm sure he'll be seeing some action here tonight with Tyler Eifert not getting any action tonight.
Marvin's seen enough from his number 1 pick to say let's rest him here at Cowboys Stadium. Alex Smith, a guy that they have struggled to get on the field because of health. Ben Jarvis Green Ellis moves out wide to the right. Dalton empties the backfield on 2nd down and 11. Throwing to the middle of the field, and there is number 18, and that makes Bengals fans smile.
I know it makes us smile, and we talked about it in the opening. We know what number 18, A.J. Green, can do, and right here, first series, nice little slant, nice pass by Andy Dalton, completed the pass.
Pickup of 10, which brings up a 3rd down and 1 with the ball at the 49-yard line of Dallas. Goes with an I formation. Gives it to Green Ellis, and the hole was a big one. Down inside the 45-yard line, a pickup of 4.
Not only was the hole big, but he actually, you can see his power. He gets hit, but he doesn't go backwards. He gets another yard or 2 after he is hit. But that's Clint Bowling pulling around, doing a nice job pushing the pile. That's the old power. They run the stretch, the chase, and they run the power, and that's pulling that guard around, leading right through the hole. Bowling doing a nice job.
John Connor at fullback making that block to free him up as well. One more to Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. Will take him down to the 42-yard line. So take a look at our Kroger starting offensive line. Kyle Cook seems to have secured that spot at center. Orson Charles, number 1 on the depth chart, but as we mentioned in that first series, John Connor there. Do you see this one playing out the next couple of games as to whether or not they take John Connor or Orson Charles?
I think so. I think one of them might have a little more upside. I would go probably with Charles at a little more upside.
Dalton to throw. Got his tight end Gresham. And he's got a first down inside the 35-yard line before he is run out of bounds with a flag on the field. Pickup of 12 for Gresham.
Offside. Number 94 defense. Penalties declined. First down.
Defensive end DeMarcus Ware, 7-time Pro Bowler, going against Anthony Collins tonight. Right here you see Alex Smith helping out, not doing a bad job on DeMarcus Ware. But man, I tell you what, we're not going to see Eifert in here today, but you got Grisham, and we talked about AJ, we talked about Bernard coming out of the backfield. Andy Dalton's got to be excited with all the weapons he has.
1st and 10 with the ball at the 30-yard line. Again, the I formation and a quick hit. Mohamed Sanu with some nice hands, and he will take it down to the 25-yard line. You know, they talk about number 12 as a guy in practice that doesn't really show up a whole lot, but every time they do something to him on the field, he shows up with big plays on 3rd down, in the red zone, and we've seen it over and over.
And we have in this preseason especially, and right there, Andy Dalton getting them the ball right away, and as we saw last week, he can run with the football after he catches it.
Dalton again from the shotgun. And again to number 18. And that's enough for another first down. A.J. Green, he did it all last year. 97 receptions, 1,350 yards with 11 touchdowns. Started all 16 games. The only receiver in NFL history through his first 20 games to go with 100 receptions, 1,500 yards, and 10 TDs. New set of downs from the 19-yard line for the Bengals. Gresham sets in motion to the right side. Dalton 4 for 4 in the early start for 33 yards. Then Jarvis Green-Ellis can't get out of the push from the defensive line. DeMarcus Ware will take him down. A loss of 4 yards.
Ben Jarvis really did not have a whole lot there. You see a white defender already in the backfield, which allowed right here. You see right here, you got Connor out in front of him, but Sean Lee right there making him cut back, and then a host of Dallas defenders are right there to meet him. So Dallas defense that time doing a nice job turning them back into the pursuit.
The call of the loss of 3, second down and 13 with the ball at the 22. Smith in motion this time. Play action. Dalton dumps the screen with a flag on the field. Giovanni Bernard busts out of a first tackle. We'll take it inside the 20-yard line. We'll see what the flag is. Gain of about 5 for him.
Illegal formation. Number 73 was not on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, repeats, second down.
Anthony Collins starting at left tackle for Andrew Whitworth.
You can see right there at the beginning, he backed up just a little bit too much. He wants to invite DeMarcus Ware inside, but he did line up a little deep of the line of scrimmage, therefore it was an illegal formation. You're given a certain point where your helmet has to hit the guard in the center, and he was just a little bit too much behind the guard and the center.
So push it back to the 27, second down and 18 from there. Dalton again to throw, across the middle to Gresham. He'll take it down to the 21, maybe down to the 20 as he's thrown forward. Will Allen in on the stop. Gain of 6 for Gresham.
I like what Jay Gruden's doing here in this first series, giving Andy Dalton an opportunity to get back. His receivers are getting open right away, so therefore he can unload the football quickly. And when you have a pass rusher like DeMarcus Ware, kind of negates his pass rush. And so far the Bengals offense has been successful completing those quick passes.
Third down and 11 with the ball on the 20-yard line. And Dalton again to throw on third. Has time. Middle of the field. Marvin Jones lost the football inside the 5. It's loose and Dallas has it. Brandon Carr was there. And the recipient of the giveaway.
Well executed play. Anthony Collins doing a nice job on DeMarcus Ware, giving Andy enough time to complete it to Marvin Jones, but he coughs it up. Turnover Bengals.
Barry Church pulled it loose, Anthony. Ball gets loose. Brandon Carr falls on it. And the Bengals turn it over. Tell the world you're a Bengals fan with Fifth Third Bengals checking and get a Bengals themed debit card. Checks 10% discount at the Bengals Pro Shop. Offer not valid on game days. Cannot be combined with other offers, but it's Fifth Third Bank, the official bank of the Cincinnati Bengals. So the Bengals knock on the doorstep. Marvin Jones coughs it up inside the 5-yard line. And the Cowboys with their second offensive drive deep in their own territory. DeMarco Murray on the first carry. Geno Atkins on the first stop. Second down and 7 for the boys. Witten in motion to the slot left side. And they'll go Murray left side. Not much there. Reverses, lost the football. It's on the ground. Looks like the Cowboys may have gotten it back. Wallace Gilberry was there to knock it loose.
I believe Malaluga was the one that shot the gap and forced him to turn back. You'll see right here, DeMarco's or Murray taking it that way, but there's some black shirts and who's
big punch from Wallace.
Yep. Wow.
So the ball tough to hang on to in the early going for both teams. 3rd down and 5 with the ball at the 9 for the Cowboys. Romo from the shotgun. Down the sideline. And it was Drake Kirkpatrick in coverage, and he will draw the flag.
Brad, he never turned around, had excellent coverage, but he never turned around to play the football. And Romo just got away with that one. I didn't see who he had to throw it over.
Interference. Number 27 defense. 1st down. Spot of a foul.
So a gift from number 27, who had blanketed coverage.
You can see at the end, he's right on him, but he just doesn't turn. Actually, he hits him in the back. If he could have just timed it to turn around, it would have been an excellent play.
Step for step with Des Bryant. Instead, it goes for a 1st down. Ball at the 26-yard line. To Murray. And Gino's there right now.
Number 97.
I mean, to watch this guy dominate offensive linemen, it must be such a treat for a defensive line coach.
Well, I mean, he comes right off that backside guard, and there's no way that right tackle can track him down. He's just so quick. He reads it, and then bang, right down the line of scrimmage to make the play. He's phenomenal. I mean, not only with his quickness, but his strength and leverage.
Led all offense or defensive linemen last year with 12.5 sacks. And a motion penalty on the Cowboys.
False start. Number 68 offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
They got Doug free on this one. Push it back a little bit. Scoreless, 5:17 to go in the 1st. 2nd offensive drive for the Cowboys. Second and 14 from the 22. Quick hit to Des Bryant. And he is met right now by Leon Hall.
I go back to when Mike interviewed Marvin. He talked, I wrote it down, fast, physical, and take the ball away. Man, do they look like a step faster than the Cowboys attacking the football. And right there, Leon Hall just does a tremendous job coming up and making the tackle. But starts right up front with Gino and right back to the secondary.
Terrence Newman the first to cause that. Then Leon was there and Taylor Mays on top of the play. 3rd down and 13 with the ball at the 23. Romo, time to throw. Throws near side. Got it complete. Murray out of the backfield for a pickup of 7, well short of what they needed.
Again, doing a good job, 4-man rush. A little bit of pressure there at the end, but the Bengals defense giving up a completion, but not giving up the 1st down, forcing the Cowboys to punt the football away.
Chris Jones back out for his 2nd punt of the evening. Brandon Tate back deep, waiting at his 25. This one high. I think it might have hit the big screen on top. Am I wrong?
You are correct, I believe. I believe it did hit this big screen.
So Jones hits it high enough to hit the big screen. Bengals got the ball back. We are back. AT&T Stadium, and part of AT&T Stadium is the big screen in the middle of the field. Now, I think this has only happened once before. Ball goes up on a punt. Watch closely. Oh, it hits the big screen. It happened in the opening preseason game in 2009 here. I don't believe it's ever happened again. Bill Levy is in for review to see if it actually did hit. I think it's pretty positive from our guys on the cameras. It did hit. And my understanding on the ruling is, Anthony, they have to kick this one again.
Well, that shot we got there from the crew, obviously it hit it, so they'll be bringing it back if that's the case.
He's still watching, and they are discussing and enjoying the moment. That's some good hang time. You get it up to that screen.
Yes, sir. Wow.
So Bill is still in there, and I think he's trying to get some definitive understanding as to whether or not the ball changed direction, and I think it was pretty clear, wasn't it?
Looked like it to me.
After reviewing the play, the punt did strike the scoreboard. We're going to put the ball back at the 30-yard line with the clock operator put 4:03 on the game clock. 4:03, it'll be 4th and 6 on the 30-yard line.
And my guess is we'll kick it again. He's waiting on the clock to change, and they'll move that back. As you see Jerry Jones in his box.
Yes. Thank you.
So I guess we've been a little part of history here, Anthony. Only the second time.
That's impressive to hit it up that high. Tremendous leg strength there.
Did you ever during your day, like after practice, do a little punting? I mean, all the big guys like to do that.
I actually punted in high school. Kicked and punted early on my career until they said stop. Pat McAnally and a couple of us used to have punting contests on Friday afternoon.
You didn't win any of those with McAnally, did you?
Well, not distance-wise. It was more coffin corner, getting it out at the 5-yard line.
Tate makes a move. Oh, got a little slot. Cross midfield.
He's gone. Go.
Brandon Tate breaks the tackle, and he is in the end zone for a Bengals touchdown. 45 yards on the kick, 75 on the return for Brandon Tate. The moral of this story, don't hit the big screen.
And as a returner, don't hesitate. Just go as soon as you see the hole and accelerate. And that's exactly what Brandon Tate does. Excellent blocks by his teammates, and he took it all the way.
Nugent for the extra point. He's up and through. And the Bengals are on the board first. 3:45 to go in the first. Brandon Tate breaks a big one and takes it to the house. For an inside look at the team, watch Bengals Weekly with Marvin Lewis, presented by Time Warner Cable. Join Dan Horde and Dave Lapham, along with Marvin Lewis, every Sunday throughout the regular season on Local 12 in Cincinnati, ABC 22 in Dayton, and on Fox 28 in Columbus. A 75-yard punt return by Brandon Tate. One of the questions, Anthony, as to what you do on kick return, punt return. Do you go with the guy you know? Do you try something different? Brandon Tate may have punched his ticket on that tonight, huh?
I tell you what, he has been doing it and doing it and doing it. And, you know, he's a guy that's sure-handed, and they've said that they're pretty confident with him, so he's helped himself tremendously.
Harris stop before he even gets to the 15-yard line. J.K. Schaefer down on special teams, and he's a guy playing for a spot on this team. So guys doing what they need to do on the Bengals sideline. They have a 7-0 lead in the first. Attention Bengals fans, ticket packs and single game tickets for Bengals home games are on sale now. For more information or purchase the best seats, call the Bengals ticket hotline 866-621-TDTD or visit Bengals.com. Representatives are standing by, so call right now. 7-0 lead for the Bengals with 3:41 to go in the first. It was A.J. Trapasso of the Tennessee Titans who first hit the scoreboard in August of '09.
Oh, A.J.
Jones did it again, and it led to a 75-yard punt return by Brandon Tate.
On defense, prior to the snap, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Bengals didn't count well on that one. Penalized for an extra man. That never makes Marvin real happy. Other than that, Anthony, pretty nice start again for this team.
Very nice start defensively, offensively, special teams. And one of the things we talked about this morning in the meeting is how well the special teams have played through the preseason so far.
First down and 5 for the Cowboys. And this is their deepest penetration so far. Philip Tanner takes the handoff right side and moves it for their first self-imposed first down, a pickup of 8.
Nice opening there by that offensive line of the Cowboys, and you do not have Geno Atkins in there. You have Devin Still, who's been playing extremely well in the preseason, but he was cut down, and it created a pretty nice-sized gap there for that Cowboys offense.
Move it out to the 27.
You also have Hunt in there, the draft pick from this year, the big kid from SMU.
Tanner the give. He'll get across the 30. Pick up a 4. So already Marvin Lewis moving guys in and out. And does that stand to what we're talking about? I've seen what I need to see. Let's play some more guys.
That would be my guess. Let's see the guys that are, the backup guys, the guys that are fighting for positions, and let's get quite a few snaps in here tonight so we can evaluate them even further.
Still in on the stop. Pickup of 3 for Tanner. Third down and 3 with the ball at the 34 for Romo and company.
Geno's back in there. Dante Moak is at the defensive end. Bring a little speed on that pass rush.
Kirkpatrick far side on Des Bryant on 3rd and 3. Shotgun for Romo. He comes near side. He's got Miles Austin across the 40-yard line, run out of bounds by Burfict, but not before he's got a first down.
And that wasn't bad coverage. Leon Hall was right there, but he just missed the tackle. So nice protection by that offensive line. And Leon Hall's right there. Burfict and Terrence Newman have to kind of cover up for him. But again, it wasn't bad coverage. He was right there, but he just overran a little bit, slipped and fell.
Pickup of 6 on the play as we creep inside 1:30 in the first. New set of downs for Romo. Give it to Tanner left side, and Domata Peko is there, and then got a bunch of help. Michael Johnson with a bear hug to throw him back.
Brad, we talk about Geno Atkins so much because he is such an excellent player. One of the, if not the best DTs in the league, one of the best. But Peko, to me, is right there. He is always consistent. The 8-year veteran out of Michigan State just continues to make plays himself. That's a great tandem in there. Excuse me, Brad.
You betcha. 7-year deal for the guy. $30 million deal to keep Domata Peko around. Quick hit to Des Bryant for another first down, and he's run out of bounds by Mays. And the Cowboy offense is starting to click.
Well, and Des Bryant, number 88, is proven in the last 2 receptions that he's not going to go down that easy. First of all, Leon Hall misses the tackle. Now Kirkpatrick misses the tackle. You're going to have to be physical with the guy. He's a big wide receiver. You cannot miss tackles.
Give him 12 on the play as they creep into Bengals territory for the first time. Witten sets on the right side from the 46. Tanner on the carry. Tripped up there by Michael Johnson. Pickup of 5 for the Cowboys. That may be our last play of the first quarter. So a 75-yard punt return by Brandon Tate has the Bengals with the lead at AT&T Stadium. Preseason game number 3 for Marvin's guys. They're looking to stay undefeated. We'll start the second quarter from Arlington, Texas, right after this. Back in Arlington, Texas to start the second quarter. Andy Dalton is perfect 6 for 6 in his start. His counterpart, Tony Romo, perfect 5 for 5. So we've yet to see an incompletion. Nice to see a clean ball game, isn't it, Anthony? Second and 5 for the Cowboys. Play action. Romo across the middle of the field has Des Bryant. 15-yard pickup for the Cowboys. Troy Stoudemire in on the stop.
Nice job by that offensive line, selling the play action fake. They come into that D-line, make them think it's a run. All of a sudden, Romo has plenty of time, and that is one big wide receiver. Des Bryant listed at 2 1/4, and he can move, as you can see there.
92 receptions last year. Another first down for Romo and company. Middle of the field again. Bryant again. Will take it down to the 11-yard line. Another 15-yard pickup in front of Reggie Nelson.
Des Bryant showing some excellent hands there. Again, Romo having plenty of time to throw the football. Actually, a little out to the side, and man, what a snatch by Des Bryant. Get a nice look here. Great job by the crew. Leon Hall right there with them. But Bryant making the reception.
Quick feet.
For a big guy, I tell you what.
Quick feet for anybody. But for his size, remarkable.
Yep.
From the 11. Romo again to throw. Bryant again. Run out of bounds at about the 6 by Kirkpatrick. We'll take a look at the first quarter numbers brought to you by Furniture Fair.
We talked about the short passes on the Bengals side, only 2 yards rushing. Doing most of the movement on the pass, where the Cowboys were pretty evenly matched with the passing yards and rushing yardage.
They give him to the 5. Bryant coming wide near side. Miles Austin wide. And coming in motion to the slot. The give straight up to Tanner. He may have lost a yard. Terrence Newman was there and got a bunch of help.
Wallace Gilberry was in the backfield in a hurry. Kind of disrupting things there, allowing defenders to come and get him. You see right there the big arms. Perfect, Malaluga. And they are playing fast. I'll tell you what, look at that. 5 jerseys right there after Still and Gilberry make the initial penetration.
Bengals have been great on bend but don't break. 1 of 3 on third down conversions are the Cowboys. Need to get to the 1. Romo, quick hit, end zone, Bryant, touchdown. He beat Dre Kirkpatrick, and that big body brought it in.
He did. Kirkpatrick was right there with him, but just the bigness, the physical play of Des Bryant just took it away. Nice throw by Romo. Look at this. He just out-battles him. That's all it is. He just out-battles Kirkpatrick, and he wants it, and he gets it, and it's 6 points.
That's hard to beat, and Romo knows it. Nice drive by the Cowboys there.
Romo's just set on hitting 88 right down the field and did it for the 6.
Extra point is up and through. So the Bengals get on the board with a 75-yard punt return. This a 5-yard connection from Romo to Des Bryant. We're all knotted at 7 in the second. Bengals Line, presented by Bud Light, is back every Monday. Join Dave Lapham and Lance McAllister. They'll be live at the Holy Grail, 6 to 9 p.m. starting on September 9th. How about that 12-play drive? 87 yards, 6:10 off the clock. The last 5 receptions to Des Bryant. 5 catches, 53 yards. Romo, 9 of 9 for 80 yards. Efficiency by the Cowboys there. Des Bryant with over 1,300 yards last year. Says he's got 2,000 as a goal this year.
Wow.
Yeah, that would be a wow. That would be a wow.
Okay.
But 88, if you're going to throw to him every play, he might be able to do that. We're all knotted at 7. The Bengals will start their next drive from their own 20. Cincinnati Children's Bengals Kids Club, presented by Walgreens and IHOP. It's back. Make sure you're a young Bengals fan, part of the coolest club in town, by visiting BengalsKidsClub.com. Tied at 7, 12:35 to go in the first half. Giovanni Bernard, the deep back, with Orson Charles in front of him. Spins his way out to the 24-yard line. Anthony Collins starting at left tackle. As a matter of fact, Andrew Whitworth hasn't made the field so far in preseason. He's not real thrilled about that.
It's miserable. I was actually standing by AJ the other night just telling him, how miserable it is to sit there and watch and want to participate, want to get some work in, and just makes you want the season to get here because you get so excited to go out there and compete.
My guess is if he had to go, he could go tonight, Anthony?
My guess would be yes, knowing Andrew and the durability that he's had over the years.
Another completion, another first down. Mohamed Sanu takes it across the 30 and out to the 35-yard line. Pickup of 11.
Little misdirection there. Clint Bowling pulling to the right, kind of confusing those defensive linemen. And then all of a sudden, Dalton standing up and hitting Sanu. And I had to notice on that first play the excellent block by Orson Charles, as we've talked about Charles and Connor in that battle at fullback. Just cut the guy down.
It is a battle, isn't it?
It is. It's fun to watch. And I love battles because you're going to raise your play, and it makes you more competitive, and you're going to be a much better football player, and it's going to help the football team.
All right, you play out some of the numbers here. Is there any chance they say, you know what, I love what Orson Charles is giving us, but I love what Connor's giving us? Can those two exist on this team?
I think they can. I think they can, but I don't know. It's possible, but it's probably not likable. They can, but I don't think it'll happen.
Second down and 10. They stack the left side. Dalton from shotgun. Here come the Cowboys. Dalton throws, middle of the field. It is knocked away from Gresham by Carr. Brandon Carr got his hand in and knocked it away. And ladies and gentlemen, we have our first incompletion.
And Brad, to that point, is Alex Smith the guy that, if he barely gets on the field, and they say, well, we want to keep both those fullbacks because Charles can put his hand down as a tight end. He can catch the ball, and I've seen him be pretty powerful in run blocking.
Some decisions to make. They've only faced a couple of third downs of the Bengals, one of two so far. This is a 3rd and 10 from the 35. And a whistle before this one gets started. And got a motion penalty on the Bengals.
Ball start. Number 82 offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Got Marvin Jones out wide.
Talk about those penalties driving the head coach crazy, especially when you get a wide receiver out there. You got to just look at the ball and then move when the ball snapped.
Jones will come wide to the right on 3rd down and 15. A.J. Green is wide left with Sanu in the slot. Dalton steps up with time, middle of the field, and is picked off. B.W. Webb. That ball fluttered across the middle of the field, and Webb read it.
And you see him right here looking right at him the whole time, and not a good throw.
Try to hit Mohamed Sanu. Cowboys with their second turnover. Knotted at 7. Shop the Nike shop at the Bengals Pro Shop, offering the best selection of Bengals men's and women's Nike products around. Visit the Pro Shop. You can do it 7 days a week, located on the north side of Paul Brown Stadium, or you can shop online at Bengals.com. Second turnover of the game for the Bengals. 1st and 10 from the 37. Romo under pressure. Domata-Peko can't get him, but the ball is batted down and incomplete. Let's go back to the interception. What do you see here, Anthony?
Well, there's no question he stared Sanu down the whole time. But look at DeMarcus Ware from the top part of the screen as he's getting ready to throw the football. You see him right here. He doesn't really get a chance to follow through. He's hit in the face, actually, with the hand of DeMarcus Ware. That added a little bit to the fluttering of the football, but still, he did stare him down, and Webb had pretty good coverage.
Second down and 10 with the ball at the 37. Tanner taking it across the 40-yard line before Vontaze Burfict takes him down after a 3-yard gain. So take a look at 55 and what he's doing.
Nice patience right there, and then makes the tackle. He could have very easily shot that gap, but he had good patience, Brad. He got up to the line of scrimmage, saw that the play was going a little bit to his left, making a nice tackle there.
Well, you talk about his patience. One of the things he says, I've got to slow down. I want to go 100 miles an hour, but I watched 97, and he takes 2 guys, and I got to wait and see where he takes those 2 guys. 3rd down and 6 with the ball at the 41. Romo, all sorts of time. Easy to get Miles Austin. Got it in Bengals territory inside the 45-yard line for a 14-yard pickup.
Well, the Cowboys doing a nice job throwing the football. Their offensive line, good protection, and Romo is extremely sharp throwing the football, as he was last time they had it to Des Bryant. Now he picks out Austin Miles, and he is throwing the ball right on the money.
Not much competition there when you've got to send Michael Johnson back to cover 19 and Miles Austin. That's a mismatch. 1st and 10 from the 44. Tanner again, big hole. Down to the 35-yard line. About a 9-yard pickup. Reggie Nelson takes him down.
Tanner doing a nice job taking that ball onside, and because the Bengal defense is so quick, watch him run. Burfict goes out, and he cuts it back right behind Free's block. Nice run by Tanner.
The Cowboys' first-team offense doing what really hasn't been done to the Bengals' first-team defense, although they are moving a bunch of guys around on the defensive side of the ball. That was actually the 5-yard touchdown to Des Bryant, the first-team touchdown for the Cowboys, this in their 4th preseason game. Burfict in on another stop. Looks like they'll bring this one out to measure.
Brad, you made an excellent point there, moving guys in and out, and mainly along that defensive front. They've, of course, we've mentioned that Dunlap's not playing, so they've started Gilberry. They've been bringing in Still. Brandon Thompson's been in there. So there's been some shuffling of that defensive line.
Short by a few chains. This copyrighted telecast authorized under rights owned by the Cincinnati Bengals Incorporated. Any use of the telecast without express written permission of the Cincinnati Bengals is prohibited. .8:14 remaining in the first half. Tie game at 7. Bengals running bodies in. Dante Moe coming in late. So Cincinnati has to take a timeout. With 8:05 remaining in the first. And the Cowboys facing a 3rd and inches. Attention high school football fans, be sure to vote for the Ohio National Guard High School Player of the Week on Bengals.com. That starts in September. The Ohio National Guard, when called, we respond with ready units. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more. So after the timeout, Dante Rosario in at fullback for Dallas on 3rd and inches. Hitting the backfield is Tanner. Didn't get there. Lost yardage.
Excellent penetration by the defense of the Bengals. Right there you see number 52, who was the late one running in.
Was.
Dante Moak making the hit in the backfield. Nice play by Moak.
Cowboys going to go for it on 4th and 1. Burfict again with disruption on that. Toma Topeka will line up and try and disrupt right in the middle. Cowboys call a timeout.
Timeout, Dallas.
Romo angry. Didn't get the playoff. 7:18. We'll come back after this. Mike Zimmer shouting out his instructions for his defense. 4th and 1, ball at the 35. All knotted at 7 apiece. Motion now. Tanner's got it, and he pushes forward for a first down. Pecco can't hold him short. Nice surge from the left side of the offensive line.
Did a nice job coming to the open end, going behind Smith, the left tackle, and they kept pushing and pushing. Nice job. Pecco holding his own against a double team, but not quite enough.
So a new set of downs from the 33. Tanner again. Geno Atkins in the backfield.
Wow.
97's fun to watch.
He is a lot of fun. He is so quick. Watch him come off the football. Sheds one blocker and just comes right down the line. It's like the old bag drill. Hit the bag, come down the line. The only problem, that bag has 2 legs and 2 arms and can't hold them back. Excellent play by Geno. About the 6th or 7th this first half.
Get used to it. Second down and 11 from the 34. Play action Romo. Gilberry was in the backfield, and Malaluga knocks this one away to Tanner. And the defensive line is doing what Mike Zimmer expects, causing disruption.
Yep, little play action pass. Nice push right there by Gilberry, flushing Romo out of the pocket. And look who's right there to give him pressure after being double teamed. Geno Atkins was being double teamed and still got back there with the hand up. You're right, that defensive line continues to work and work. And Malaluga making a nice play there to bat that ball away.
Notice they haven't gone to 88 on this drive. Third down and 11 from the 34. Romo to throw. Pressure coming from Michael Johnson, and he'll just go down. He doesn't want to get hit. He'll just sit down before Dante Moak touches him. So he'll get a free sack for a 7-yard loss.
This defensive line doing an excellent job. They run a couple games there. You see Moak coming inside, Michael Johnson or Gilberry coming all the way around, but Moak's right there to grab, and Geno wasn't far behind.
So they push him back, force another punt. Bend but don't break. Tate is back. He has a 75-yard return for a touchdown. This one did not touch the scoreboard, and he'll call for a fair catch inside the 15-yard line. 5:20 remaining in the first half. Only a 27-yard kick with no return. Bengals have the ball back in a tie game. Bengals ticket packs are on sale now. They're the best way to guarantee your seats for the big home games against the Steelers, the Packers, the Patriots, and so many more. 866-621-8383. Or visit Bengals.com. Representative standing by, so give them a call right now. Marvin Lewis team 2-0 in preseason, looking to go 3-0. Andy Dalton still on the field. Was hoping to get this first team offense 30 snaps. Dalton will dump out of the backfield. Gio back his way across the 20-yard line. Bruce Carter is there to make the stop after a gain of 6.
Hey, Brad, there's another lineman that just went in. Dennis Rowland just went in for Andre Smith, and he's got to be a guy that's been around for a while, but has to be in that mix of, okay, who do you keep? As you see Dalton doing a nice job bringing it down and then hitting Gio. But, you start counting tackles, and guys like Bowling who can play guard and tackle, and Hawkinson who's shown some promise.
Right.
So what do you do now with the Rowland?
Well, add Pollock into that mix, who can play a couple of positions as well. Give it to Gio. Not much there. He will lose a yard back to the 19-yard line on the 17th snap for this offensive side so far.
Take a good look here of trying to go to the left side behind Collins, but he doesn't get a whole lot of push against DeMarcus Ware. And Gio can't really make the cut because he's right there in the back of his offensive lineman. You got to give the back a little bit of a push so he can, if he's going to take it backside, he'll have some room. But Bernard didn't have any room that time.
Third down and 5 with the ball at the 19. Dalton with time, but not enough room there. You got Marvin Jones, who coughed it up once already in this game, and he's nowhere near a first down.
we talk about the offensive line. We saw Whitworth with his frustration not being here. As you look at some pretty good protection as I'm talking about the offensive line. But you got to look at Anthony Collins. That we were talking tackles with Smith and Whitworth and Rowland. And Collins has been doing a decent job on DeMarcus Ware. DeMarcus Ware is, 7-time Pro Bowler, one of the best defensive ends in the league.
Huber lets this one go end over end, not his best. Harris comes up on it and fields it in a crowd across the 40-yard line. Orson Charles is in on the special team stop, and that's one of the names that makes you go, that's why.
Exactly. You got the tight end fullback now going down and making plays. And you look at just the physical makeup of a fullback like Connor, the straight ahead, just pounding. And then you got a tight end who's used to making cuts, making turns, can go down and cover kicks.
But John Connor's the Terminator.
The Terminator, boy, he'll spank you. Just get in that hole and he'll spank you.
47-yard kick by Huber. Cowboys with the ball at the 43. Tanner one more time spins out of another tackle in the backfield. Michael Johnson was there for the first hit. Tanner will actually gain one as Malaluga takes him down. But the penetration from the defensive line has been strong so far in the first half.
Well, 93, Michael Johnson right there, just comes right off the left tackle Smith. A little frustrated, didn't make the tackle, but he was right there to disrupt things right away.
You saw Brandon Thompson in the screen, a guy that is now finally getting some snaps and somebody that they have liked in his development.
Marvin told us this morning he's practiced well, and they wanted to get him some playing time. Not overdo it, but get him some snaps.
Romo throws out of the backfield to Tanner, who finally collects right at midfield and takes a pop from Burfict. And he felt that.
He sure did. Romo spots him. He's got a little problem collecting that one in, but makes a catch, and Burfict lays it on him right here. Boom. I'll tell you what, this young man Burfict is really quite a story and doing a tremendous job at that linebacker position.
Led the Bengals in tackles in his rookie season. 3rd down and 3 with the ball at midfield. Romo to throw. Pressure comes. He lets out near side. Should have been picked off by Kirkpatrick as a flag flies. Already called once for pass interference is 27.
Pass interference. Number 27 defense. First down, spot of the foul. This is the 2-minute warning.
He's getting his time, and he's getting more camera time than he would like. So the Cowboys drive continues with 1:57 to play in the first half. A little high on the hand. Let's throw it down on the field to Mike.
Guys, you've mentioned some players that would probably be going today if it were a Sunday. Of them, James Harrison, of course, a big free agent acquisition, taking the night off. We talked to him, though, about how things have gone so far in Bengaldom and training camp.
Mike, thank you. He's a nice addition to the locker room. Romo down the middle, incomplete to Austin. Leon Hall was there in coverage, threw it just a little bit too far. Let's hear from James Harrison.
You know what? It's a lot easier now since the new CBA. You practice once a day, so the grind was, I remember my first camp, we had, 2-a-days. And I think we were in camp for almost 35 days. That was a grind. This country club.
This country club. You would probably concur with that with the camps you went through, right?
You know what? I laugh because it's good to hear guys that are playing now say that, because when I go to camp, it's like, I think there's going to be a server going around with some lemonade for everybody and, a little umbrella on the drink. But it's, the game has changed, but it's not how it used to be.
Could you have played longer if camp weren't as hard?
Well, consider that we went 30, 35 days, 2-a-days, full padded practice. The only day we took off without pads, I think, was during the day before preseason game. Dave Lapham and I were talking about it at camp. He said if you took care of your body, probably could play, 15 to 20 years.
Really?
Barring injury. Injuries are part of the game. But not taking all that beating during camp, I think so. And during the week.
3rd down and 6 for Romo. Middle of the field. Austin inside the 20, inside the 15. First down. Leon Hall on the stop. 22-yard pickup on third down.
One thing, Romo looks extremely sharp. A little bit of pressure there, but hits Miles right away, wide open to make the catch and take it down to about the 12-yard line.
Defense on the heels. Timeout on the field. 56 seconds to play in the first half. You curious about what's coming up at halftime? On the Fifth Third Bank halftime report. Well, stay tuned. We'll get an inside look at HBO Hard Knocks from director Rob Gehring. First time the Bengals were on in 2009. It earned them a couple of Emmys. And it is one entertaining program. Top-notch, first class. You've been keeping up, haven't you, Anthony?
Well, Romo's been doing an excellent job here. We got to get a little pressure on those quick passes. I got to admit, I'm not...
You're not up to speed yet?
I'm not up to speed.
You're missing it, my friend. First and 10 with a ball at the 12-yard line. Romo to throw again. Steps up in the pocket and right through the hands of Miles Austin. He had plenty of time.
He did. It just went right through the hands. You see right there, they're having two guys work on Geno, keeping him out, but Austin just not making the catch. Romo had plenty of time.
Perfect and Hall on either side of Austin. Can get another first down at the 2. Romo throws far side. That's incomplete as he tried to hit Dez Bryant. Terrence Newman all over him. And we'll bring up a third down and 10.
That was good to see after the 5 catches he had on the touchdown drive. Romo making a nice throw to the outside, but Newman doing a nice job really all over Dez Bryant. It was off his hands, but he couldn't quite get control of it.
Cowboys are 4 of 8 on third down conversions. This is a 3rd and 10 from the 12. Austin wide near side. Romo pumps, steps up, throws end zone. Austin, touchdown. Had all day, stepped up and beat Taylor Mays.
He really did. That Cowboys offensive line doing a nice job. The Bengals running games, a little twist going up there. But Romo doing a nice job stepping up. And Miles coming across the back of the end zone. Nice throw, nice catch, 6 points.
The second real sharp drive by the Cowboys offense. Bailey to add the extra point. One to Dez Bryant, one to Miles Austin. Give Tony Romo some time and he's got some big targets. He's taken advantage of it a couple of times. And the Cowboys have a 7-point lead with 40 seconds remaining in the first half. 8-play, 57-yard drive, 2:42 off the clock with the help from some Bengals penalties.
Exactly, and I mean, that was really a nice move by Romo. He felt that pressure coming around the backside, but he just stepped up. Calm, veteran move, and Miles was wide open. You'll see right here. He gets back there, good protection, but then it starts to break down. He steps up, still was right there, but he steps up, and then nice separation between Austin Miles and Taylor Mays to make the catch.
Tate is back. He owns the Bengals touchdown tonight on a 75-yard punt return. And we'll see what this 7-point lead for Dallas does to Marvin Lewis's thinking about who he leaves in and who he takes out at halftime. This one too deep. They'll start from the 20 with 40 seconds to go. We'll see what Andy Dalton and company can do in 40 seconds to see if they can put some points on the board.
You know, it's interesting, Brad, that you bring up the whole protocol or, you know, rehearsal. And I know in the day it was, you know, you have your starters play the first half. You get them into the locker room. You let them tighten up. You let them stretch out, come back and play at least one series so they get that feel coming in after out after halftime. We'll see what happens.
Gio Bernard breaks out of the first couple of tackles. We'll take it out across the 25. Sean Lee will make the stop after a 7-yard gain. Clock continues to tick. Bengals don't appear to be in too much of a hurry.
This young man, Bernard, has a good combination of speed and power. At 205 pounds, he's not that tall, but he usually doesn't go down with the first guy.
They don't huddle, but it takes them forever to get a play off. Dalton will dump the screen to Bernard. He'll have the first down across the 35 to about the 38-yard line. They stop the clock with only 5 seconds remaining. Sean Lee again on the stop after an 11-yard gain, but if they were trying to do something, wasted a lot of time getting the play call.
Yeah, that's a great situation when you really, you know, with time running out before half, you got to be crisp. You got to, you know, jump around. You got to get set. And like you mentioned, you just a little too much time wasted before they run the play. I mean,
so 5 seconds from the 38-yard line, and not much you can do here.
There really isn't. You look at, we talk about Giovanni Bernard. All he did was rush for 1,200 yards last year, 1,900 all-purpose, scored 19 touchdowns.
Boy, I'd love to put those numbers up here, wouldn't he?
Yep.
Dalton steps, throws long right side, and it is almost picked off. Will Allen was there, and that will bring us to the end of the first half. Bengals offense didn't put it into the end zone, but Brandon Tate did. Cowboys came back with a pair of touchdown passes, one to Dez Bryant, one to Miles Austin, and the Cowboys will take a 14-7 lead into the locker room. You're watching the Bengals Television Network. We are back. 14-7 Cowboys over the Bengals at halftime. The Bengals get the first 7. The Cowboys answer with 14. Brant Johansson alongside Anthony Munoz. You see anything in particular that stood out to you in first half?
Well, Geno Atkins. I tell you what, that guy's amazing. He is amazing. His quickness, his penetration, and even when two guys are blocking him. To me, that's the one thing that's pretty exciting for me to watch. Being a former offensive lineman, I love watching him.
Take a look at the highlights from the first half. And the first one comes from Chris Jones. Only the second time in this stadium, actually first time it ever opened, hit the scoreboard, so he had to kick again. That left this for Brandon Tate.
Worked out well.
75-yard return for a touchdown. Jones couldn't get him, and the Bengals were on the board. But the Cowboys offense answered. A 5-yard strike to Dez Bryant. He beats Drake Kirkpatrick. And then Geno Atkins, the guy you were talking about.
He is. Surprised. We got one of many highlights that he had in the first half. Guys, just I can't say enough about him. He's just excellent.
But Romo would answer again. In the Cowboys' final drive, he steps up and hits Miles Austin in front of Taylor Mays. And the Cowboys lead at 14-7 as you take a look at Kroger's first half stats.
Well, one of the things the Bengals had been doing, running the football pretty well, but they only run for 12 yards in the first half. But the big one was the 2 turnovers. The fumble when they were going in to score, and then the interception by Andy Dalton.
And couldn't stop Tony Romo, 13 of 16, 135 yards, and a couple of scores for the Cowboys to have that 7-point lead here at halftime. Cowboys about ready to kick. About 8 yards deep. Tate brings it out and won't get back to the 20-yard line. And the Bengals will start their first offensive drive from inside the 20. Andy Dalton will start the second half. We told you that Marvin Lewis wanted his offensive squad, his first team, or at least many of his first team, to get 30 snaps tonight. Gio will take the first handoff and take it out to about the 25-yard line for the first carry. And we welcome in the Bengals director of player personnel, Duke Tobin. Nice to have you back one more time. We tried to give you to the third quarter to take a look at the first half with some of the guys that you may be looking at. Give me a first assessment of what you saw that stood out to you, either good or bad. I'll let you start with a positive first.
Well, obviously you'd like your offense to be on the field a little more, but when you get a punt return and a couple turnovers, you end up with your defense on the field. So we'll focus on that. You know, I thought that you know, they challenged us with two good receivers and a good quarterback, and you know, there were some times we stood up to it, and sometimes we've got to make some improvements. But you know, most of the time we had some pressure, which I thought was good, and you know, this half is going to be important for a lot of the young guys.
Well, they open up this first running play, gaping hole, the offensive line, the first unit's in there, and Gio has a big hole, does a nice job gaining a lot of yards. So tack on a penalty, so the offense off to a good start here in the second half.
Really impressed with Gio. You know, he's a guy that Coach Gruden loves. He works him in a lot of different ways, and the kid's up to it. And he's enthusiastic, and he's going to be a good player for us.
I love his acceleration when he sees the hole. I mean, he's there, and then boom, he just hits it right away.
There's a guy you love to see. Number 18, A.J. Green, takes it deep into Cowboys territory, and the Bengals offense is purring like you would like it to start the second half, and they are moving in hurry-up form. To the line already, and a new set of downs from the 16-yard line. Give it to Gio one more time. Sidesteps a tackler. We'll take it down inside the 10-yard line. One of the things we talked about was what you're doing in front of Gio, or in front of Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, and Orson Charles, or in John Connor. Your thoughts on that?
It's certainly a good competition between them, and I think the tight ends factor in that a little bit, depending on how many we want to keep at each spot. Orson can obviously play a little bit of both, and Alex Smith and John Connor are more dedicated to their position, and it's going to matter as to how many we keep overall at each position.
Dalton to A.J. Green! Waiting on a signal, he's out of bounds. A.J. says, I got him down. In front of Micah Pellerin, who seems to be hurt on the play. Take a look at it one more time.
Again, early in the game, we had the quick throws, and right there, A.J. Green leads up high, makes the catch, but he can't come down.
Ooh.
He's got the toe in, but the rest of the foot is out.
What's your call, Duke?
It looks good to me. I think his toe is down, and I'm going to call it a touchdown. I think we got a chance of reviewing this one here.
Right foot in, left toe in. I think you're going to be right on this one. You know what you got from him. Tell us about the other wide receivers that you're in a mix right now.
Really, it's some of the best competition I've seen in my years here. When you look at the running back spot, the fullback spot, the wide receiver spot, you know, one guy makes a play, the next guy makes a play, and you've got a lot of guys pushing for those last 2 or 3 wide out spots. You see Tate making a great play for us today, and you know, Waylon and Sanzenbacher will come in here in the second half, and they'll be important parts of the second half here. And we've got a young guy in Kobe Hamilton who's really pushing for a roster spot. So we've got a tough duty ahead of us. We really do. We've got to, you know, it keeps you up at night. It's a good problem to have, but it keeps you up at night trying to make sure that you make the right decisions for the club.
Well, we get surprised by that Marvin doesn't throw the red challenge flag on that. They run an extra play to Gresham. Lucky to hang on, but nowhere to go for him. So on 4th down, they'll bring out Quinn Sharp to see if he can put this one through. And it is a 3-point effort for the Bengals' first offensive series. They may have been cheated out of 7, but Sharp adds 3 more. Duke will hang around with us to start the second series. Bengals down 14-10. 8-yard field goal by Quinn Sharp. And the Bengals are back within 14-10. J.J. Wilcox is back, along with Anthony Armstrong. Sharp will let this one go. Wilcox will bring it out from 8 yards deep. Probably not a great decision. Dante Moak on the stop has him short. Duke Tobin staying with us. We get word, Duke, that Andre Smith left with a knee problem. How serious?
Well, I don't have the specifics. I think he came back in after he did it, and I think they've pulled him out as a precaution. I don't have specifics on it. It is a concern. You know, Big Witt's such a key guy for us. He's not playing today. Andre has played so consistently this preseason, so it is a little bit of a concern. We've got to get those guys back and healthy.
Well, you talk about tackles. We saw Roland in there early, playing some tackle. Of course, Fragel might see a little action, so I mean, you know, you got Witt. He's going to be back. That's got to be. Do you have a couple guys in Robinson and Roland that have been around that maybe are in a mix of maybe some younger guys?
Well,
now?
yeah, you've got Tanner Hawkinson, who before he hurt his ankle was really playing well, showing us a lot of good things. And you know, you can't not mention Anthony Collins and the job that he's done. You know, stepping in for Big Witt. He's blocking one of the best players in the league. You know, and doing a very good job at it. So. You know, he stepped up when he had to.
We've mentioned that several times with DeMarcus Ware, and he's done and a lot of it's been one-on-one. I mean, so he has done a good job.
Andy did a good job getting the ball off at one point quickly, but you know, DeMarcus is going to beat you. That's what he does, and just like Dez on the other side of the ball, DeMarcus is a good player.
Well, he's not a 7-time Pro Bowler for nothing. He's got some talent.
Kyle Orton in at quarterback now for the Cowboys on their first offensive series here. Now move the chains and have it 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line. Obviously, you go from 90 down to 75 on Tuesday. With the amount of injuries that you have on this squad, probably not a lot of difficult decisions by Tuesday for you.
Well, the 75 cut is never really the difficult one. It's the 53, and that's when the debate and the discussions happen, and that's after you've seen 4 preseason games. So you normally have them, a better chance to really give these guys every chance that they can get to make our roster, and we're open-minded with a lot of them at this point.
Before we let you go, a little talk about number 98 making plays for you here.
Real happy with Brandon Thompson. Happy to have him back. He had a great offseason, and then he got hurt a little bit early in camp. I think it was first padded practice in camp. It's good to have him back. We've got big hope that he can take some of the load off Pecco in there.
Duke Tobin, Director of Player Personnel. We appreciate your insight. Always helpful. Thanks so much, and best of luck as you continue through.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Duke. We will have Duke with us as we close out the preseason against Indianapolis as well next week. That'll be a quick week as they move to a Thursday game after this one. And then a long break before the Bengals start in Chicago on September 8th, which is exactly what coaches want.
Brad, it's good that you mentioned Brandon Thompson, because we had talked about it, mentioned him earlier, how Marvin was happy that he had a good week of practice, wanted to get him in there to get some reps, and on that play he showed his quickness for such a big guy.
3rd down and 10 for Orton. Plenty of time. Steps up, throws far side, got it complete, and got a 1st down. Just short of the 40-yard line goes Terrence Williams. Orton had too long a time to find a man.
He did, and Drake Kirkpatrick was over on the coverage, and again, recovers and misses a tackle there. Had a chance to bring him down, but Williams doing a nice job getting away from him. That offensive line doing a nice job, giving Orton plenty of time. He looks to his left, and he comes back to the right before he hits Williams.
Ball out to the 37-yard line for Orton and company. Inside handoff. DeMarco Murray. Margus Hunt in on the stop, along with Chris Lewis Harris. Big number 99 trying to make a name for himself. I think it's fairly easy that he makes the roster. The question is, how much can he get in the game, and those contributions will come probably from special teams.
I would imagine, especially when you look at who's in front of him, the defensive ends, and the fact that, he's Physically, he is impressive, but he doesn't have the experience that some of these other guys have. So it's a matter of developing him to a point where then he can start contributing.
Got Dwayne Harris. Picks up another first down in front of Dre Kirkpatrick. 27's having a tough night.
And I think I've seen more missed tackles tonight than I have in the first couple weeks.
Cowboys thrilled to have Kyle Orton as their backup quarterback to Romo. You don't get that luxury a whole lot in the NFL to have a number 2 that's talented.
Exactly, with all the experience, the starts that he's had in his career so far, it is. I mean, you're looking at a 9-year veteran as your backup. That is quite a luxury to have.
Randall on the carry for a couple of yards. Devin still in on the stop. Jason DeMonch in at linebacker now. Play action Orton. Again, all sorts of time, and he got Harris again. And another first down in front of Dre. 14-yard pickup.
Well, they're kind of getting back to it where they took in the first half, and Dre is having a rough time. They're going to him. And again, look at the nice throw by Kyle Orton. I mean, can't say it enough. You got Tony Romo, a Pro Bowler last year. And now you got Kyle Orton, who's got 9 years of experience in the NFL.
Ball at the 31.
Wow.
All sorts of room left side. And a flag down on the field. Taylor Mays in on the stop.
Holding. Offense number 83. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
That is Adrian Hill. If you missed, as we talked about at the top of the broadcast, the NFL decided that they would have Bill Levy be the referee for the first half and Adrian Hill for the second half. Everybody needs reps in preseason, isn't it?
That's right. It's their first few games of the year, so they got to get ready for that season opener too. Kyle Orton having a chance to go with that Dallas Cowboys first offensive line, which is still in there with them.
They marked it from the spot of the foul. DeMarco Murray with all sorts of room on the right side. Kirkpatrick on the stop before he hit the chains, but he picked up a big chunk of what they lost, 12 yards on the carry.
Well, we saw Murray early in the football game, but we didn't see him a whole lot after early in the game, and now he's back here in the third quarter making a nice run. You see Sean Williams, the rookie, coming up, but getting caught in the mix of everything.
Murray had all kinds of time to pick and choose his path. With that pickup from the spot of the foul, makes it only a 2nd and 2 with the ball at the 22-yard line. Murray inside the 10. It's 1st and goal Cowboys. Sean Williams eventually on the stop, but they're picking it up in chunks. A 17-yard run.
Well, you see J.K. Schaefer coming through, but Smith doing a nice job coming the left tackle for the Cowboys, and that hole just opens up right there. You see the wide receiver doing a nice block. Anthony Armstrong making a nice block on the outside. Nice run by Murray.
Number 1 running back against a bunch of the number 2s on the Bengals defense. And maybe beyond 2s on the defense. Timeout Dallas. 4:21 remaining in the third. And the Cowboys looking to tack on to their 4-point lead. Let's get back to football. While the team's busy preparing, you can show your excitement about the return of football season by logging on to NFL.com/back to football. Learn how to help celebrate in the greater Cincinnati community And in the schools across the region, there are some amazing prizes up for grabs, so be sure to visit NFL.com/back to football for more information. First and goal for the Cowboys from the 7-yard line. Murray, maybe one. Devin still on top. Marcus Hunt down low.
Good job that time by the defensive line. See Brandon Thompson pushing. See Marcus Hunt coming and making the play along with Devin Still. You know, Brad, you mentioned probably number 2s playing against the number 1, but if they're going to be number 2, there's going to be a point in time in the season where we're going to have to be playing against number 1s. So they're going to have to be able to hold up.
Second down and goal from the 6. That's Harris in motion right side. Orton to throw. Time. He gets stopped by Mays. May have lost a yard or two on the play to bring up third down and goal.
Good coverage that time by the Bengals. Orton couldn't find anybody. Pulled it down, tried to come to his left and tried to throw, but the Bengals pursued right there. Taylor Mays making sure he doesn't go in. See, a lot of black jerseys starting to come. Good coverage.
So loss of 1 back to the 7. Third down and goal from there for the Cowboys. Orton to throw out of the backfield to Murray. Breaks the first tackle. Breaks the second and third and goes into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Poor tackling, Anthony.
Once again, I said a little bit earlier, I've not seen this many missed tackles. There's 1, there's 2, 3, 4, gets into the end zone. There's no question that the defenders are getting there. They just have to break down and wrap up and make the tackle.
The young kids missed the first 2. Number 27 missed the first one. Number 40 missed the second. DeMarco Murray just kept on chugging into the end zone on a third and goal from the 7. He takes it in where he should have been stopped close to the line of scrimmage. 14-play, 86-yard drive that took 9:11 off the clock.
And their offense pretty much had their way with the Bengals defense. They were throwing the ball, running the ball, and just marched it right down. As you said, 14 plays.
Extra point is up and through. Third touchdown of the night for the Cowboys. They have a 21-10 lead with 2:57 to go in the third. It's time for a Pepsi. Now is what we make it. And it's happening all around us. Grab a Pepsi, some friends, get out there and live it. It's time to live for now. Cowboys are living large, 21-10. Marvin Lewis sends Dane Sanzenbacher back deep for the Bengals. Daniel Herron in front of him. The boom. Brett Maher to let this one go. Short kick, takes a hop at the 10. Sanzenbacher will take it 3 yards deep in the end zone, and because of the hops, will take a knee. And the Bengals will start this offensive possession from their own 20-yard line. They trail 21-10. And the Bengals are proud to present the Taco Bell Family Zone again at games this year. Taco Bell Family Zone, the place for every family. Taco Bell, sometimes you gotta live Moss. Josh Johnson in at quarterback now for the Bengals. He comes in after 2 games, the second leading rusher behind Boom Herron. 9 carries for 91 yards. Thrown it 23 times, completed 14 of those. Kobe Hamilton, the inside pitch, and he takes it outside and lost the football. Cowboys have it. The 3rd turnover of the game for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Nice execution of this play, and when you're a young wide receiver, especially a rookie, you only get so many opportunities, and you make a nice run and then you give it up. It's not helping your cause any.
Jeff Heath made the pop to get it loose, and Micah Pellerin came up with it. Costly mistakes for the Bengals tonight. (21-10). Cowboys lead. Third turnover of the game for the Bengals, and the boys have the ball back in Bengal territory. Yeah, Bengals fans, Gold Star Chili, the flavor of Cincinnati, pure Cincinnati, and proud of it. The third turnover of the game. Marvin Lewis says we want to turn the ball over. Unfortunately, they have turned it over. They haven't turned the Cowboys over. Alex Tanney now in at quarterback. Going long. And going after Kirkpatrick again. Came up short. The Division III star set all sorts of Division III records from Monmouth College. The ISO as he's trying to hit Armstrong. Dre was there on good coverage that time. The new defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys says he wants turnovers as well. He's got them tonight, has Monty Kiffin. Randall wrapped up by Dre Kirkpatrick. Loss of 2 on the play.
Devin Still had some nice penetration, continues to play well there. Had a chance to make the tackle but didn't quite make it. So a little power play. You see him right there, number 75, nipping at the ankles. Dre making the nice tackle there.
Dre's getting a lot of snaps tonight.
He's getting a whole lot of snaps, and he's going to have a lot to learn from.
Third down and 11 for the Cowboys. Ball at the Bengals 43. Tanney to throw. Pressure coming. Hunt has got him and rattles him to the ground. Margus Hunt, what they've asked of him is finish, and he did it on this play.
He did. Nice little game with Evans there. The tackle going out. Hunt coming to the inside, and he grabs it. There's no way that Tanney's going to get away from him. Gets a big pause around him and takes him down.
Happy to be back in Texas, the SMU kid. Only been playing football now for 5 years. Jones with a punt. He tried to hit it again, and he may have. Ball is down at the 32-yard line. I think he's doing it intentionally. Brings a smile from Marvin Lewis after the 18-yard kick. Are we going to have to wait and see a replay on this one as well?
I don't know, the way he hit it, I thought it was going to go a lot further.
From our vantage point, we lost it because it went up into the screen coming towards us. There is no replay coming. It came awfully close if he didn't hit it. Johnson on the bootleg. He dumps it off to Richard Quinn. Josh Johnson, has he done anything out here that coaches may not have known about?
They probably knew I can run, but I mean, I'm making guys miss a little bit. You don't really get to see that in practice, and just command of the huddle and everything. You never really know what a guy's going to do until he gets in a real live game situation, and I feel like I've handled that well. So just trying to keep showing them that I can be ready when called upon.
Called upon here to go deep left side. Looking for Sanzenbacher, threw it out of bounds.
Brad, interesting combination now on the offensive line. They have the rookie out of South Carolina, T.J. Johnson, at left guard, and they have the veteran free agent pickup Mike Pollock at center, along with Jason Weaver from Southern Miss at left tackle, and Rowland at right tackle, and John Sullen at right guard. But it's interesting that T.J.'s at left guard and Pollock's at center, or left guard and center.
Well, we talked about it, that Pollock can do multiple things. They want to see him play center. 3rd down and 2, ball at the 40. Johnson to throw across the middle, and Sensenbacher almost had his head taken off by Lawrence. No flag on the field. And the Bengals will be forced to punt.
Let's take a look. A nice quick throw by Josh Johnson. That was close.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you don't throw a flag with the rules that they've got out here this year.
Exactly.
Josh said the same thing. No flag. Huber to punt. Lets it go, and the driving kick ends up in the end zone. We'll bring it back out to the 20. A 60-yard boot by the Cincinnati kid. Cowboys with an 11-point lead. And the ball back with 23 seconds remaining in the 3rd. See what type of fan you really are. Visit the news site Bengals.com/fans. See what your name looks like on a Bengals jersey. Plus, be entered to win a prize pack. Visit Bengals.com/fans today. Dalton and Johnson talking over the last series. It's likely we'll see Johnson for quite a bit more here in the second half. Tanny still going for the Cowboys. And on the boot, as Hunt chasing him, throws it out of bounds.
Good move by Tanny.
Yeah, you don't want 99 bearing down on you.
He's got those arms up, and he looks like a 7-footer.
Former junior Olympic world champ in the discus and in the javelin in the same year. Picked him 53rd overall.
How about the block kicks?
He blocked a few.
Yep.
Actually, just about more than anybody ever did.
He's only 6'8", 280.
And he's just figuring football out.
Yeah.
Near side. Tanny going deep and overthrowing Benford, but another flag comes down as Lewis Harris was out in coverage.
Pass interference. Defense number 37 grabbing the arm. The ball will be advanced to the spot of the foul. Automatic 1st down.
I didn't see the push. Let's look at it again.
I didn't either, and I thought it was a late flag myself. You see right.
Okay, he may have had a little hand.
Just a little arm in his hand. Yep.
You can't grab on for that long.
Yeah.
9 seconds remaining in the 3rd. New set of downs for the Cowboys at the Bengals 46. Tanny to Randall. Another big hole. Lost his helmet but picked up a chunk before Vinny Ray takes him down. We have reached the end of 3. Cowboys lead it by 11. We'll come back for the 4th quarter on the Bengals Television Network. Great clips. They've got free Bengals tickets with sideline access for 2. Look for details. Register for kids 8 to 13 at Great Clips locations. Great Clips. It's going to be great. Start the 4th quarter. Cowboys have it 2nd and 1 at the Bengals 37-yard line. Harris in motion to give to Randall on the left side. He's got 1 and plenty more before Vinny Ray takes him down. Another 1st down for the Cowboys.
Well, Brad, they've been getting plenty of penetration on the run. The problem is they haven't been able to bring the runner down behind the line of scrimmage or at the line of scrimmage. Right here, Ray doing a nice job wrapping up, but again, they've just been missing some tackles and allowing the back to get through after some disruption by the defensive line.
Ball inside the 35. Randall to give. We'll take it down close to the 30-yard line. Jeremy Miles in on the stop. As you take a look at the numbers through 3 quarters, thanks to Fifth Third Bank.
3 turnovers, and then you have to look at both Romo. I mean, having a nice evening, and then wow, the first downs. I mean, the Cowboys had the long drives, sustained the drives, and doubled the Bengals in first downs.
2nd down and 6 from the 30. Randall again. Not much there, but another flag on the field. Back at about the 34-yard line, and maybe Kevin Kowalski holding. Oh, we got a personal foul here.
Offense number 62, 15-yard penalty, still first down.
David Arkin gets the flag on this one. Let's throw it down on the field to Mike. Mike, you got someone with you?
I do, and Brad, one of the very nice things to see tonight is this right here. 18 in a jersey on the field, playing into the second half. I know how do you feel? Everybody wants to know, how's the knee and how do you feel?
Feel great, man. Back to 100%. Just to get back out here with my boys, man. Let's get back in the swinging things and get some reps and get my win back. So it's good to be back.
So you're fine?
Yeah, I'm fine.
We know you've been scratching to get back in there, and you wanted, and you've been telling the coaches, asking the coaches to get you out there and get this action like you got tonight.
Yeah, I feel like as a receiver, man, I need my reps, and that's about just going into the first game, just being prepared and being comfortable out there. Like I said, I just need to get all my reps as I can. So
you and Andy come into what everyone knows a critical year for you guys. How's the growth between you and your quarterback, and what expectations do you guys have as you guys speak to each other?
The biggest thing for us, we got to communicate a little more. Some stuff I see on the field, some stuff he see on the field. We just need to talk to each other more. That's the biggest thing.
And how comfortable are you with the expectations or the adulation that you get? I mean, you have to hear some of these things, AJ, that people say about you, talked about as, if not the best, one of the best receivers in the game today.
Yeah, man. I don't really buy into all that. This is only my 3rd year. I got a long way to go. I got a lot of football to learn, and I'm trying to get better each week. So.
We see you doing that, and again, we're just glad to see you out there playing. Rest up. We'll see you September 8th, and if you get down to that Georgia game, root on those Bulldogs.
Thank you, man.
Yep. AJ Green, guys, great to see him just like that.
Yeah, without question. And he doesn't look like he's missed a step, does he, Anthony?
He doesn't. I tell you what, he looked good. He's going to continue to look good, and I love his attitude. Still got a lot of football to learn, a lot of improving, and he is already one of the top guys in the league.
Bailey steps out to try a 50-yarder, but Cowboys have to call a timeout before they do that. Harris with the drop on 3rd down. So we'll take a break with 12:41 to go in this one. Cowboys looking to extend their 11-point lead. Hey, play NFL.com's fantasy game. The first and only game with video. It's free. It's easy to play. Sign up today. NFL.com/fantasy. Together, we make football. So Bailey back out.
Brad, you a fantasy guy? Fantasy football?
I play with a family. I win that, by the way.
That's good. I like it.
Bailey hooks this one badly. That one looks like my wedge.
I've seen your wedges. They're pretty good.
So 12:35 to go. And the Bengals escape that one with no points, still trailing by 11. This is actually the first time that they have played on this new surface. We'll talk about that when we come back. Bengals with the ball back, trailing by 11. Hey, Bengals fans, check out the Medical Mutual fan poll. It's located at the bottom of Bengals.com. Cast your votes this week. The fan poll question this week, updated after every game. He asked, which undrafted rookie free agent's been most impressive at camp thus far? About 41% of you said Jason DeMonch. Johnson crossed the middle for Whalen, and he was popped. Dropped the ball. He was hit hard by J.J. Wilcox, who freed it up.
I'll tell you what, that was a heck of a throw by Josh Johnson right there. But man, he was nailed.
Perfect spot.
Yep, exactly. Nice little spin move there, a little pressure there against Weaver.
Ryan's still feeling that in the ribs.
Yeah, that was Kyle Wilbur, number 51, who put a nice little spin move on the left tackle, Jason Weaver, to get pressure on Johnson.
Well, talked about this surface. You know, normally the field stand for about 10 years, but the players were telling Jerry that the surface was too slick. This one that was put down in 2009. So he says, all right, I'll put a new surface down. They practiced on it for the first time Thursday this week. Johnson on the keeper. Lawrence takes him down, but not before he picks up 14 yards and a first down.
Very impressive running the football, and right here designed just a fake right up the middle, and he's gone. He's going. Makes some nice cutback. Not only his ability to cut back, but his vision is really good. You'll see here he's going to the right and he sees nothing to the left, and he keeps coming back, and then smart enough to take it and go down.
Alex Smith with a nice block in front of him on that one. Boom will take this one down on first down. Pickup of 4. Heron with a 40-yard touchdown run last week. And he's in a fight for a job.
Yeah, you look at that running back position, of course, Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, and Giovanni Bernard, but then you got Cedric Pierman, Daniel Heron, you have Rex Burkhead. Those three, I mean, that's a battle there.
2nd and 6 from the 42. Johnson throws it over to the head of Tate. Incomplete. And one of the complaints about number 8 has been his accuracy. And on a play like that, that's when you got to hit.
Yep, wide open, just kind of lay it out there. And that ball just goes really high. When you get it to Tate, he's got a chance to bring it down and maybe make a move and gain a few extra yards.
Third down and 6. Johnson under pressure. Has to get rid of it and throws it out of bounds.
And Brad, that's another young lineman, right tackle, the rookie Reed Fragel, that was allowed the pressure that I believe it's number 79.
Personal foul on the Cowboys will keep the drive alive.
You see right there, grabbing him, horse collar, bringing him down, penalty.
So they'll mark it inside the 30-yard line. New set of downs for the Bengals at the 27. Johnson to throw again. This one to Kobe Hamilton. Not much there. Give him 4 as the pressure comes.
See from the backside, they're bringing an extra guy, and he's got to get rid of it. Gets hit. This is Cameron Lawrence.
Second down and 6 from the 23. Burkhead now in the backfield. They'll give it to him. Left side, a little bit of room. He'll take it inside the 20-yard line. Need to get to the 17 for a first down. He picks up 5.
Nice double team right there by Pollock, giving him a little bit of room.
3rd and 1. Burkhead's got that. New set of downs for the Bengals. Now just outside the 15-yard line.
You got Pollock at left guard. You have Solon at center. They have a little bit too much penetration right up the middle there. Trevor getting a nice little stalemate. If you're going to have a stalemate, that's better than letting the guy penetrate, because then you give the back an opportunity to read that. But right there, there was too much of a white jersey in the backfield to allow the back to get through.
Burkhead to the sideline. Boom Heron in the backfield now. And Johnson to throw on first down. Steps up. Taken down. Devontae Holloman.
Brad, that one there was on the running back, Heron. You got to be able to pick up that blitz You'll see him right here onside, number 34, ducks his head. Holloman grabs him around the neck and just kind of tugs him aside. Got to keep that head up. Basically the same type of technique as the offensive lineman. You got to keep that head up. You can't lean forward. You got to keep good balance. You just got to be able to dance out in space.
2nd down and 12. And Heron can't dance anywhere. Holloman's there again. He's their 6th round pick out of SMU. Seen a lot of action so far in the preseason. So it brings up a 3rd down and 11. Ball at the 16-yard line. Inside 8:45 to play. Johnson to throw. Dumps it off to Burkhead. He's got it inside the 10-yard line, but short of a 1st down. Holloman is there for the stop again. It brings up 4th down, and we'll see what Marvin Lewis decides to do here. He's got him back in the huddle.
Johnson doing a nice job. You see a little bit of the pressure coming backside, and he fills it. He gets rid of it to Burkhead right away. That's a nice fill by Josh Johnson there, feeling that pressure coming backside and being able to unload the football.
4th down and 5. Ball at the 10. Johnson throws. He's got a 1st down with Kobe Hamilton inside the 5. 1st and goal from the 4.
Nice job by Johnson, seeing that right away and throwing it in a hurry and making a very accurate throw so Hamilton could catch it. Nice protection right there. He has a chance to step into it. Hamilton catches it and doesn't get much after the catch, but enough to get the 1st down.
So the Bengals convert on 4th down, have it 1st and goal from the 4. 13th play of this drive. Johnson with time, scrambles right, looking, throwing end zone, and he throws a dart incomplete. Quinn could not hang on. It was right in his gut.
That's a luxury you have with Josh Johnson. He comes out of the pocket. He sits there, has plenty of time, but he decides to come out, and he makes a pretty nice throw on the run there. He's running out of real estate. Just a little firm, but making a nice decision there.
2nd down and goal from the 4. Cowboys coming. Dump to Hamilton left side. Reaches for the end zone. Touchdown. Hamilton converted on 4th down, and now he converts for 6.
Well, I saw B.W. Webb making a move to him, and he just plows ahead and then has enough sense just to stretch that ball out and hit the pylon and gets the touchdown call. You see right there, the ball is inside before he actually gets out, so that should be a touchdown.
And the Bengals leave the offense out. Will go for 2. Trailing now by 5. Hamilton goes wide right. Whalen in the slot that side. Senzenbacher wide left, and Burkhead now motions out of the backfield left side. Empty backfield for Josh Johnson, going for 2, and they jumped.
Weaver, left tackle.
False start. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty. Replay the try.
When you get limited snaps, not what you want to do as a young kid.
You got that right. I mean, you got to make every snap count because, first of all, you're not getting that many snaps because you got your starters, you got your backups. Now you're a rookie. You're trying to make the club, and every play has got to be sharp and almost perfect.
Two-point conversion try. Johnson steps. Looks to the end zone, throws, got Whalen for the 2-point conversion, and the Bengals are back within 3. Maybe that's just what Josh wanted. Let's move back 5 yards. Let's get it in with 7:01 to go. The Bengals have it at 21-18. Bengals ticket packs on sale now. Best way to guarantee your seats for the big home games against the Steelers, the Packers, the Patriots. 866-621-8383 is the number, or you can visit Bengals.com. Purchase your tickets because reps are all standing by right now. So give them a call right now. 14-play, 60-yard drive. 5:34 off the clock. Kobe Hamilton from 4 yards out, and then a 2-point conversion to Ryan Whalen. And the Bengals have it back within 3. Quinn Sharp to let it go. Randall's back. Takes it to the 15 and across. Won't get to the 20-yard line. Ontario McCaleb, the first to hit him. And now the Bengals defense has to do a little something. We talk about limited snaps. Kobe Hamilton did the most with his tonight, didn't he?
He did. He did. Had that nice end around that he fumbled, but then he came back, made some nice catches, and took it in for a touchdown. Actually going through the defender.
6:56 remaining in the ball game. Bengals trail by 3. Defense on the line. Cops are cracking down on drunk driving like never before. If you drive drunk, you will get caught. You'll be arrested. Drive sober, get pulled over. Funded by the Ohio Traffic Safety Office, a division of the Ohio Department of Public Safety. 21-18, 6:56 to go. And a flag down before this one starts.
False start, offense number 80, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Send it down to Mike.
Brad, another great uniform to see on the field tonight. The 42, of course, of the law firm Ben Jarvis. Green Ellis, how is everything with you? You took the week off last week to get some rest. How are you feeling out there tonight?
I'm doing well, man. Getting my legs back under me. I feel good. I feel like we're ready for the season to start.
We got a little thunder and lightning going. You got the rookie, Giovanni. Talk about what that brings, the new dimension to the offense, and how you two guys can really thunder and lightning with each other.
We're looking forward to getting out there and putting the pressure on defense. You know, they get used to one guy, the other one comes in. So right now we just got to go out there and continue to work hard in practice and put it out there in the game.
Okay, but no surprise last year when the Bengals got on the roll, when you guys started going, 4 of those last 5 games you had 100-yard games. So I think the proof is in the pudding there. A little defense for that.
Oh, yeah. You know, when our defense is playing well and our run game is going, we're a hard team to beat. But basically, we got to get both of those things going together, our run game and our pass game all at once, and then we'll be a dynamic offense.
No doubt. We talked a little bit about the break you guys are going to get till September 8th. What goes on now about over the next 15 days for you guys to really get ready for Chicago?
We have some practices getting ready for Indianapolis, of course, but our focus is really on Chicago Bears, and they're a good football team, so we have to prepare for them and start getting film on them and watching what they did in the preseason and things like that.
Absolutely. Good to see you not only out there playing, but talking about how good you feel, and guys like 1842 back in the mix here for the Stripes. Thanks, Ben Jarvis.
Guys, thanks very much. It is good to see him, and he can be a beast, and it will be a different backfield for the Bengals with a little thunder and lightning this year. 3rd down and 10 for the Cowboys. Bengals defense needs a stop here from the 18-yard line. Tanny to throw. Pressure coming down the middle of the field. Got his man. And a first down to Andre Smith. Pretty throw.
Heck of a throw by Tanny, just laying it right over the defender. And Andre Smith making a nice catch. It all starts with some pretty good pass protection by his offensive line. And man, what a touch. He had to throw that ball over Schaefer. Schaefer was right there, running stride with Andre Smith, but Tanny doing a nice job laying it in there.
Schaefer got rung up by his own man, Jeremy Miles, with helmet-to-helmet contact. A 26-yard pickup and a first down inside 5 minutes to play. The Cowboys drive continues. Randall on the right side. Finds some room. Miles will drop him, but not before he picks up 8.
Bengal defense cannot be allowed to be pushed the way they are. They're just getting pushed to the sideline, and you see all the black jerseys not only being pushed, but you see them on the ground. That opens up some big holes and a nice run right there by the Cowboys offense.
Inside Cincinnati territory. at the 49-yard line again. And the clock continues to tick. Randall, left side, breaks it. Left sideline out of bounds, but another first down as Sean Williams pushes him out.
I'll tell you what, I'm surprised there wasn't a flag thrown on this. We'll take a look here. You see Stevens getting taken down, and there's a couple takedowns there by the Dallas offensive line, and they did not call it.
New set of downs for the Cowboys at the 36-yard line. A little pain on the sidelines. I think our side judge went down on that one.
Yeah, it looks like, is he going to finish, going to play hurt? They do have the substitute ref. They're checking him out.
A little shoulder injury.
Yeah, a little rotator cuff exercise there. Make sure the rotator cuff's okay.
I think that's the head linesman, John McGraw.
He says, I'm okay. I'm going back in.
Didn't happen there. It happened there.
There it is, right there.
And it is, in fact, John McGraw.
Wow.
Down hard on the left shoulder. He's tough. 1st and 10 from the 37. Randall again. Scoots inside the 35. And the clock continues to tick.
Nice penetration here. Marcus Hunt almost gets a tackle, but Terrence Stevens makes the initial hit. Like I said, just about all night they've been getting good push. It's just a matter of now you get your eyes up and see where the ball carrier is and make the tackle.
2nd down and 7 with the ball at the 34. Randall, left side, 1st down. Schaefer knocks him out of bounds. So the Bengals defense can't get off the field.
There it is, just stretching it out. Running the outside zone. They just keep pushing. And Randall gets the corner.
Now deep in Bengals territory with a 3-point lead. And a new set of downs with 3:15 left on the clock. Steady stream of 35. Schaefer on the stop after 3.
You need that outside man to keep that containment. You can't allow to get pushed. Right there, good job by Prater, who turns it back in. Got to keep that outside leverage and let the guys that are pursuing to the ball make the tackle. Even if you get pushed out, you can't get taken inside and let the running back get around the corner, and that's what's happened several times.
2nd down and 6 from the 17. Randall one more time. Adjusts. Takes it to the 15. Vinny Ray on the stop. Got a couple of yards. We'll bring up a 3rd and 4 from that spot. And this is where the Bengals need to hold.
Good to see Vinny Ray back in there getting some playing time.
Bengals take a timeout on the field. 2:25 left on the clock. So the Bengals come in 2-0. Cowboys come in 1-2. These two teams have only faced each other once in the preseason. They did that in 2010 in Canton, Ohio in the Hall of Fame game. The game the Cowboys won 16-7.
Bengals had a chance early to jump out, but they had some turnovers. And kind of derailed what they were trying to do. They did get the punt return for a touchdown, but the one drive they were going in to score, they fumbled. Then a pick soon after that by Dalton.
So big third down here, 3rd and 4 with a ball at the 15-yard line. Tanny from the shotgun. Quick hit. First down. It'll be 1st and goal. Down at the 5-yard line as he hit Bemford. A 9-yard pickup. Sean Williams made a big hit. Too little, too late. We have reached the 2-minute warning. Cowboys on the doorstep trying to put this one away. They're up 21-18. Time to take a look at Cincinnati Children's change the outcome of the game, and unfortunately you cannot turn it over 3 times. This one the first of those 3 turnovers deep in Cowboys territory. Marvin Jones coughs it up. Change the outcome of the game. Cincinnati Children's is changing the outcome for families here in the tri-state and around the world. Marvin said one of the things he wanted to do was for his defense to take it away. Unfortunately, his offense coughed it up 3 times.
And they had a nice drive going there. They were chewing up the clock and moving the chains and getting ready to score. So I agree with that one.
1st and goal from the 6 for the Cowboys. Randall to the left side, and he is tripped up by Still. Nice penetration by 75 again.
Still late in the game, working hard. And that's what we talk about. I mean, here's a young guy, and he's looking good, but still continues to play hard, finish things, finish.
Bengals take another timeout, stopping the clock with 1:54. They have 1 timeout remaining. They have kept it on the ground this drive, eaten up the clock, and moved the chains. The Bengals, the NFL, USA Football, they're all committed to making America's favorite sport better and safer through Heads Up Football. Go to usafootball.com for a new approach to teach and learn the game. Second and goal from the 9. Randall, left side. Penetrations there. Thompson helps Miles with the stop at about the 9-yard line. And the Bengals take their 3rd and final timeout.
Excellent play there by Miles, and Thompson getting there, pursuing. Right when the running back makes a cut, you make the tackle. Very nice. You see the flow. Miles gets a little shove from the lineman, but it doesn't disrupt them. He comes up, makes the tackle. That's what you like to see. Sometimes you're going to get that block. You have to shed that block, and Jeremy did a nice job of getting a little shove, but kind of redirecting and making that tackle.
So this is your ball game, 3rd down and goal from the 9-yard line. Bengals can't stop the clock anymore. They trail by 3. Armstrong in motion. They'll give it to Randall left side. He'll cut inside. And down close to the 3-yard line, Brandon Thompson finishes the stop. It will bring up 4th down. And the clock will continue to tick. And the Cowboys will let it run as long as they can.
Going to be able to take it down below a minute or close to a minute. So 2 things, Brad, that I see that really just kind of made the difference. The turnovers, and then really I've not seen this many missed tackles in a long time. I mean, that to me were the 2 glaring things, and really kind of changed the outcome of this game.
Cowboys let it run down to 56 and take the timeout. Executive producer tonight's broadcast, Brian Sells. Coordinating producers, Ryan Holmes and Pat Neeser. Tonight's game produced by Russ Jenish. Directed by David Ashbrook. Associate producers for Bengals Television, Scott Simpson. Melissa Caldman and Jamie DeLong. Engineering support provided by Rick Tenenfeld. Graphics by Jim Mueller. I want to thank our crew here in the booth. Jackie working as our stage manager tonight. Chris Summers spotting for me, and John Green doing the stats. We appreciate your help, guys.
Great job.
26-yard field goal for Bailey. Up and through, and it's a 6-point ball game with 52 seconds remaining. Tonight's Gold Star player of the game, the guy Anthony loves. Well, the guy every Bengals fan loves. 97 just causes havoc.
I'll tell you, if he's not making the tackle, he's disrupting the offensive line play and letting his teammates make the tackle. But man, I tell you what, that heck of a game.
Won't be the last time we hear about 97.
Nope.
Cowboys finish a 14-play drive, 79 yards, 6:05 off the clock to push the lead to 24-18. 52 seconds remaining. Marvin Lewis planning his strategy. Sanzenbacher is back deep. Boom Herron in front of him. And Bailey will let this one go. Bengals cannot stop the clock. We haven't seen any of John Skelton tonight. Anticipated that Josh Johnson would probably play the second half. Nine yards deep. Sanzenbacher's going to take it out.
Whoa, he's got a hole here.
A little room.
Yep.
Left side. 45 seconds to play with. Boom made a block for him. And what looked like maybe a poor decision, 9 yards or 10 yards deep in the end zone.
Another one of those wide receivers making plays as you have that battle at the wide receiver position.
So the Bengals, with 45 seconds to go, will start from their own 44. See what magic Josh Johnson can produce.
Good test for these young offensive linemen.
Dumps it out of the backfield to Burkhead. Crosses midfield into Cowboys territory. Stops the clock with 38 seconds to go. Pickup of 8 on first down. More importantly, he stopped the clock. So 49 yards to navigate. 38 seconds to play. The Bengals trail by 6. Johnson under pressure, lets it go. He's picked off. Xavier Brewer will effectively end this one with 30 seconds to play.
And he was being hit as he was trying to throw that football. It was all about the pressure. We see him get back, and it was Fragel, the right tackle, once again. Actually, guys coming from both sides. Josh did not have a chance to complete that at all.
Not sure who he was throwing that one to, but it wasn't close to a Bengals receiver. Josh may be saying, I got popped in the head.
Exactly.
So last week, Johnson fumbled near the goal line. This week, the ending comes with an interception. Tanny takes a knee. And that'll do it. Congratulations across the board. The Cowboys will improve to 2-2 in the preseason. And the Bengals drop to 2-1. Will close out their preseason next Thursday at home against the Indianapolis Colts. So as the final seconds tick down, the Cowboys get a 24-18 victory at home.